Hello fellow old schoolers. Now, while we're waiting to get some more games from the Eel Castle Cup 2021, the tournament from there, I have a few other matches from the playgroup that I just recorded and thought I'd put up here. And the theme of this is Composition A coming up against a world of Burn. Because, yeah, Burn deck seems to be in vogue at the moment. So in this first match, I'm up against, I think it is Jens Ole here on his blue and red Counterburn deck. And then we have Rook and Burn after that in a later video, and some other Burn decks after that. It is really just a theme here. So it will be nice for me to try to test out how Composition A fares against these kind of brews. And I guess these guys want to test their tournament decks against Composition A as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the action. And this is round number 1 and a best of 3. And we are using sideboards here, just like a real tournament. Have a roll off here. And it's Ole wins it. Oh, starting off with the Library of Alexandria here. Very strong start from him. Now, he hasn't mulliganed, so he will be able to draw with it after his next draw step. Should have 7 cards now. Yep, so here we go. And I have a double blue mana, but Composition A can't counter in this iteration. I have played around with flash counters and Spell Blast with it at some point. It could be kind of cool to try and implement again. Black Lotus coming out of Jens Ole and a Factory here, so he can counter now. And yeah, I do think his Counterburn deck obviously has counter spells. So we need an answer real quick against that library. That's probably why he has played that Black Lotus, to at least represent a counterspell. Okay, double Underground Sea here, so there's a double black mana. We might have a sinkhole here, I hope. Giving it a good think here. I don't think there's a sinkhole. Nope. Okay, he doesn't have any red mana aside from that Lotus, so I guess we'll try to nick some cards from his hand instead, and hope that he doesn't have a red mana or doesn't have a bolt. That's another way to counter that Library of Alexandria. If I can't crack the land, I can at least make sure that he doesn't have 7 cards in hand. So the question is, will he sack the Lotus for this? To get rid of it? I think Jens Ole is actually playing around with a couple of decks here. He doesn't know what he'll bring to the next tournament, so he's testing different brews out. He's also the pilot on the Smasher Talk that's featured on this channel, and you are Counterburn, and also some green brews. Okay, cracking the Sonic Blast here. And then, yeah, there's a time first. I remember this. So, it kind of negates most of his card advantage here. He's gotten out of that library, but he must have reckoned that he seems like a bit mana starved. He only has colorless mana. He does have 2 factories though. So he draws straight into another full hand and can keep on using that library, but it does provide me with chances to get some land destruction spells here. To try and get rid of that library. But I guess he reckoned that time is not on his side. I mean, he needs to burn me down fast. He can't wait too long to get his red mana. So I think that's why he did it. He has made a land drop though. Oh, the Black Lotus is back again. So he can counter again now. That's pretty annoying. A bunch of mana out of Composition A here. You really need to handle that library. Okay, that's a sinkhole. Ah, okay, but he counters it. Lucky Black Lotus. Good for him. Does put him down to 5 cards in hand, I think. From the Lotus and the counterspell. Tutoring here. Now I'm tapping the Sapphire here, only keeping the scrubland untapped, so it can't be an ancestral recall I'm searching for here. I'm having the scrubland untapped because I want to represent a Swords to Plowshares. It might keep his factories back, or it might not, but it's better than nothing, right? Okay, then he comes in swinging with the factory for 3 points of damage as he gets pumped by the other factory. Didn't have a Swords to Plowshare against it. City of Brass. And here we go, that's the tutor target. Getting rid of a, Blood Moon, Chaos Orb, Shatter, and a Red Mox. That's actually his red mana. Didn't want to play it. It's crucial, that Red Mox, because he doesn't have any red mana. Gets to keep a single card. He could have played a lot of cards if he had only anticipated that I tutored for the Mind Fist. And he said it was a blunder himself. But I didn't get the Red Mox. That's probably one of the most crucial things in his hand, as he's so mana starved. And he comes in for 4 here. So I'm down to 12 points of life, and he has played his Red Mox. It's right outside that camera angle. So I have all the cards in the world, or I have 5 or something like that in hand. And he doesn't have, I think he has a single card. No, he has 2 cards in hand. So yeah, I'll have a lot of mana as well, but if I don't do anything, those factories will overrun me. Do some Jin coming out here. Now it will kill me slowly, but at least it'll keep the factories at bay. Okay, he's trying to save up for the library again, perhaps. Taking a point of damage from that do some Jin, and now it comes lumbering over for 5 points of damage. Almost at life parity here. And a blocking Hypnotic Spectre. Now, I might block with it, even though it might cost me the Spectre, only because I can't get too low in life here. It might draw a bolt instead. Yeah, Chain Lightning here. Cracking that Spectre out of the sky. I think I'm considering here whether I should bounce it back into his face. It might cost me a life, but I do so here. It is a bit of a race. It does 3 points of damage to him. And now he can double attack me with those factories. I disenchant one of them. Takes 2 points of damage. Down to 8, and now down to 7 points of life with that do some Jin. At least I drew a bolt from him with that Spectre. So getting in again, putting him down to 5 here. Need another blocker or something. Okay, sinkhole in the factory. I think that's the coup de grace. The finishing move. Yeah, and I also had a disenchant against it. So yeah, getting down to 7 points of life and 6 points of life in my upkeep, but took it home here the first round. So that's always nice. Those two Jins are a bit risky against UR Counterburn because they do damage to me, and he can overrun me with all his burn spells. He didn't draw a lot of red mana here, so a bit unfortunate for Jens Ole. So this time he'll be on the play. And we have sideboarded here. Let Lotus again. Ooh, turn 1 sushi. We really need to find an answer here pretty damn fast. I think he sideboarded those in. I have sideboarded blue blasts, red blasts, and sushi's in as well, because I'm anticipating Blood Moons. I think he plays with the full playset of Blood Moons after sideboard. So I need something against that. Also Spirit Links. I think I've put in Spirit Links because, yeah, life gain is really great against the burn deck. Okay, taking 6 points of damage here from his attack, and at his end step, I Ancestral. So we need some answers here. That's a lot of pressure on his side. 6 points of damage turn 1. Ah, no Moxen though. Just a single land. Disenchanting the sushi, taking a point of damage from the City of Brass here. Passing the turn right back. Okay, here's an island. No red mana yet. So I'm tapped out. He can just attack for 3 here. Attacking with the factory and pumping it with the other factory. So we kind of need a blocker at this point. I'm almost overrun here. Okay, blocking factory coming out. Still a very, very slow start from composition A here. It's a bit of a factory war at this point. Just passing the turn. Okay. At least he likely won't play a Blood Moon at this point, because it'll render his own factories useless. I think he played a 3rd factory outside the camera angle, and it's a Serendipity Freak coming down. A lot of aggression here. Three factories and a Serendipity Freak staring me down. 9 points of life left. and only a single blocking factory. I'm really considering something here. Now those Spiritling, they will be great against his Serendipity Freed, and they can be used on my own Dewsum Gens as well, though they won't do me any damage. Chaos Orb coming down. Okay, I'm electing to let him untap and take a point of damage from his Serendipity Freed, because he doesn't have any red mana, so he can't shatter in response. And we just play the Chaos Orb as auto-hitting here, just to get the games to run more smoothly. It is kitchen table magic, and we want a bunch of games in to test these guys' tournament decks. Okay, he comes over again. 4 points of damage with the factories. No, 5, because he can pump with that factory outside the camera angle. So 3 factories. But I needed to do it. Now, I didn't have the mana to block with my own factory, but I needed to get rid of that Serendipity Freed. Sinkholing another factory here. Okay, so 2 factories left. 4 points of life. I can block 1. I will take a point of damage from that, and I'll go to 1 point of life, because the other factory will get in. Unless I can disenchant or something. Okay, no, he plays something here. Another sushi. Okay. Really just stomping me down here. I seem like yeah. Am I forfeiting? I'm sinkholing one of the factories. Then I'm forfeiting. Yeah, because he'll attack with the sushi and the other factory. I'll block the sushi. I'll take 2 points of damage. Take another point of damage from the City of Brass to activate it. Being at 1 point of life, and he can attack again. I need 2 answers. I can't draw that with 1 draw. And yeah, he can just... whenever he draws a bolt, I'm dead. So, just forfeiting the game here. No point in continuing. It was an unwinnable position. So round 3 here, final round of this set. That second match was a bit one-sided. He's mulliganing here. I think the first match, though, my win there was because of that Mind Twist that he didn't quite anticipate. See his hand here. Chaos Orb, Plateau as a factory, Counterspell. I think, what's that? A Serendipity Freed or something? I think it is. Oh yeah, I remember this. He's about to discard his counterspell as per the mulligan rule. Then he remembers, oh, I only drew 6 cards. I should probably draw 7. And then discard one of them. And then that card he drew, he discarded that. So keeps a counterspell in hand. I don't know what he discarded. And I'm on the play. Just a scrub land though. Slow and steady. Volcanic Island. Yeah, that's an electric eel. It's very, very old school. It was used in the UR Counterburn setups way back in the day. About maybe 6 years ago, something like that. I need to read up on it, because it's been a while since I've seen it. We have it here. It's a 1/1 creature. Does 1 point of damage to the controller when you play it. And you can pump it for +2/+0 for a double red mana. So it is a way to just kill factories, and when you pump it, it does even more damage to its controller. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword here, but it can really be used to just rush the other guy down, especially in the mid-game and late-game, because UR Counterburn usually has a lot of mana he doesn't need, so you can just pump your eels and get in. And I mean, if he drops another red mana and attacks, I have to block it with my factory, and even if I pump myself, that eel will just kill my factory. Okay, I'm spirit linking it here. And that's actually pretty nice, because if he pumps it, it does damage to him, and it does damage to its target, and the spirit link will net me life for both things. Draws a bolt here. Blitz a factory. So I'll gain the 1 point of life it does to him, and also gain life from whatever damage the eel does. And I reckon I just need to survive the early game here. I think I'm the favorite the longer this game takes, because I have bigger creatures. Sushi coming down though. I think those are in from the sideboard. Perhaps. Okay, drew into a Mox here. Can't really handle that sushi. Seems like I have several lines of play here. I think I remember I'm considering whether I should disenchant the sushi or balance. I think I'm electing to balance, as far as I remember. Yep, okay. Not sure about that play, but I need to discard a card. He get rid of both his card. I discard a disenchant. I think I have another disenchant in hand, actually. And I'm keeping the mana untapped. I'm also expecting a Blood Moon at some point, and I want to be able to disenchant it if it drops. So he attacks with the factory here. I just let it in, even though I have a disenchant. I want to keep that back for better targets. Okay, he drops another factory. Now he could have played a Blood Moon here. So, okay. 2 factories, I drew into that sushi. So now we have a good, nice sized blocker here. Though he can double block it with his factories, I suppose. I'm still slightly ahead here, I feel. And remember, I have that disenchant in my sleeve to remove a factory or something, if needs be. And he likely won't drop a Blood Moon now. He needs something to handle that sushi. He's using plateaus, and sometimes that's a red herring just to feign that you're using white. But I think this deck, he uses white in that for Swords to Plowshares and perhaps disenchants. So he can remove the sushi. Coming over with both the sushi and the factory. Okay, so he blocks my factory with his factory. Then I try to disenchant his factory, but he just counters me. Now I can't pump my own factory. It's pretty annoying. So he just pumps his own. Kills my factory. I get in for 4 at least. And passing the turn. It's a bit of a race here. I am 3 lives ahead. And if he attacks me here, he'll only do 4 points of damage. And my counterattack will do 6 points of damage. But he does have a lot of answers against factories with his deck, with all those lightning bolts and shatters. Okay, he elects to just keep back. Now he can pump his own factory into a 4/4 if he wants to. But if he does, my factory will get in. So I'm attacking with both, and he just lightning bolts my factory. Then he blocks my factory and pumps himself +1/+1, and pumps himself again +1/+1. So it becomes a 4/4. So he's the only guy with a creature now. I need to time walk to get another chance of getting something out here. Don't have any creatures or any cards in hand. Passing the turn back to Jens Ole. We've both spent all our gas at this point in creature battles. So top deck mode here. Okay, he attacks with his factory. I'm taking it. So 15 points of life to each of us. Okay, I just draw go. His turn again. He attacks one more time. I'm taking 2 more points of damage. Draw go. Let's see, did we get something here? Ooh, a Sinkia Vampire here. Need to pay a point of life with that City of Brass though. So yeah, that can keep that factory away. And I can also get in with it. It's a very nice draw here for me. Oh, so he balances here. Okay, losing the... Yeah, and he gets in again here. I'm losing the Sinkia Vampire. He discards a Blood Moon and a Fork. I'm drawing into a sushi. At least the luck keeps on going. Threats, threats, threats. Being down to 10 points of life, that's beginning to get near the danger zone against the burn deck here. Because he can just go nuts with a few lightning bolts in succession here. Getting in for 4. Bit risky from me, I think. Perhaps I should play for time. I don't know what I have in hand though. But getting down, if he attacks me now, I'm down to 8 points of life. Unless I can stop him. Okay, he activates, then he attacks. I let it in. Didn't have an answer for it. Real aggressive move by me, attacking with that sushi. Not sure about it. Doing it again. Okay, seems like I have something else here. Okay, I do some gin. Oh, but he counters that. Oh, yeah, so he can attack me one more time. I'll be down to 6 points of life. That's 2 bolts. And then he strips my City of Brass, so I don't have any mana left. And then plays a Send to be freed. Ah, man. And then attacks with the factory, putting me down to 6 points of life here. It's close to curtain call for composition A. Underground C. I think I remember I have a Blue Blast in hand here against a Blood Moon if it's played. Also to counter one of the burn spells, I think. But yeah, I'm considering here, should I attack or shouldn't I? If I attack and he lets me in, he'll be at 3 points of life and he'll counter attack for 5. I'll be at 1. He'll be at 2 actually from his Send to be freed, and then I can attack and kill him. And if he bolts me, I can Blue Blast it. So it's probably the better choice. If I stay back, he'll just fly over my head with that Send to be freed. And do 3 points of damage each time. I'll be dead within 2 turns. He might also block with his Send to be freed if I attack. Because the Send to be freed will do damage to him. But it's real risky. Because he might counterattack and then just burn away. But with the Blue Blast in hand, I'm electing to attack. Now, now the choice is up to him. Does he put the Send to be freed in the way? Or will he let the sushi get in? It's really down to the final points of life here. What to do? I mean, the Ifrit will it's just a 3/4, so it won't kill the sushi. It does elect to block though. I think that makes sense. Needs some more draws just to get into some burn spells and finish me off. Getting over with the factory here, putting me down to 4 points of life. Now a Sonic Blast will kill me here. And then he's soft to plowshares the sushi. He got those in from the sideboard, I think. At least it nets me 4 points of life, but the attack is on him. I mean, he's the aggressor now. I need something to... And Mind Twist his final card. Drew into that. That's not good. So he can attack with impunity here. Getting in for 2. I'm down to 6 points of life. At least we got something here. That's a strip mine. Immediately strip mining the factory. So we're back into draw go mode here. Exhausted and bleeding, both of us. It's a real nail biter, this one. I'm tutoring here. And I choose not to counter. Yeah, and what to pick? Could pick a big creature or something. Or just more draw power. I don't have a fireball in this version of Composition A. I can't kill him with a fireball anyway. Let's just cut a bit forward while I shuffle through the deck here. Took a while to make this decision. Yeah, so passing the turn back to him. I wonder what I picked. Okay, at his end step, I'm casting an Assist to Recall. Pretty damn risky. He could counter. He has had a lot of draws. Not sure about that play either. Am I winning 7 cards now? Nope, I'm playing a Sol Ring outside the camera angle here with the Library of Alexandria. So trusting composition A. Instead of taking a big beater, I'm just casting an Ancestral Recall. Now sinkholing his plateau, cracking him out of white mana here. Yeah, getting out of Juice Gin. Yeah, I want the plateaus gone because I saw that he had Swords to Plowshares after sideboard here. So now it'll be that mode. Oh, but that's another plateau. But yeah. Okay, then he waits for me to take the damage from the Juice Gin, and then he Swords to Plowshares it. So much for that. Putting me down to up to 10 points of life though. So I'm feeling better at least, but I think I've spent my Ancestral Recall on this. But drawing into a Sushi. I had my Instantly Shatters it. Nope, I remember the Blue Blast. I was just about to remove it. Crucial Blue Blast here. Protecting the Sushi from the Shatter. Now we just need to get in 2 times and it's curtain call. Can we make it work here? And a Chaos Orb, so a Mace won't help him now. Okay, that's game. Really, coming down to the wire here. What a match in this third one. Being down to very, very few life indeed. I think he sideboarded the Swords to Plowshares in, and I mean, they kept him alive a lot, but it is a bit of a dilemma for a Counterburn deck to use them, because we saw that I gained a bunch of life from that, from my big fat creatures, and yeah, that it kind of put me out of the danger zone sometimes. So yeah, just by the skin of my teeth, I made it work here, 2-1 against Jens Ole's Counterburn. Next up, I'll go a few rounds with the Rook and Burn that we've seen on this channel before. It is rematch time because he kind of just crushed me last time we met. So we'll see how Composition A fares against that particular matchup. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next battle.